I'm not big on fighting these days, but I don't call the cops. And I'm not big on scrapping lately. When I start, I don't stop. I just need one more person to hate me. Talk that talk. One more problem might make me kill them all. I'm a heartbreaker, kicker. I'm a hot trigger, nasty words. I got two fingers for kissers. I'm a dirtbag, no good bastard. Look, it's no more Mr. Nice Guy, so go ahead and get mad. I'll show you how easy I turn a tough guy to a dead man. I ain't your buddy, haters are obsessed fans. If we were buddies, trust I'd crack a bud just like a red can. Bedpan full of piss and vinegar. Head scan said that I'm not crazy, but I'm similar. Let's dance, lead hands, homie, you get slapped fast. Trust me, you're a midget, I'm a monster. Every slap I throw is a finisher. I just need one more person to hate me.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Welcome to another National Parks flight. Tonight we're headed to Big Bend National Park. This will be the last of our long flights for a long while. This one's a couple 600 miles, I think. Something like that. This little bugger can do about 400 miles an hour, so it shouldn't be too awful bad. If we run into too much headwind, they can shut that portion of it down. We'll go to we'll get rid of the live weather. The live weather's pretty gusty, but I think once we get up to altitude, it should be okay. What else I got on? I just want to double check my weights and balance because we need a full tank of fuel on this because it's just on the edge of where that thing will get to. I want my co-pilot the hell out of the plane. All right, that should do her. We're going to jump right into this one. If anybody's trying to catch up a little bit, catch up once we're in the air, because this is a long flight. It'll be a bit of a pain. It's not a pain, just going to chill. Once we get in the air, I'll get in there and get the brake off so that thing will stop dinging. Set my altimeter for 20,000 feet. We are going best is even right. Okay, good there. Flaps down, 1 notch of flaps. Yep, we're good. I think we're ready to roll. Got the drop tanks. We got everything this trip because this little bugger's going to be heavy, but it's so powerful. We need the extra fuel. There's Mr. Icarus hanging out over there. I see him. I'm sure he'll catch up quite quickly. I'll give him just a minute here. Have a little sip on my coffee. He always finds a way to get that plane to go way faster than I can ever do it to go. Thought I kicked him out. I see he's still sitting there. Yeah. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. I spent a good portion of the weekend killing more Kerbals. And fighting with flight plans. Ever since Sim Update 12, any mark on a flight plan from Little Nav Map that's not an airport becomes the North Pole. No idea why. But in the sim, it thinks it's the North Pole. Every mark that's not... I know Shondale put up a message saying to get rid of the Volanta. I completely pulled everything I had for Volanta out of my system, rebooted, and it still does it. Recreated the maps. Still does it. So it's definitely not Volanta's issue. So, there's that. Oh, Icarus is on that crosswind run, so he should be good. So, hopefully it's fixed before next week's flights. Everything else is pretty straightforward. Tomorrow night's flight, I've got the airports marked, and we're following light to light, so we don't really need a flight plan that much anyways. Yeah, he's giving it full beans there. We'll give it full beans. Get her up in the air. Ooh, twitchy. Everything rolling right out the door. That flaps up. Everything's up. We're going to go right ahead and get the autopilot cranking right out the bat here. We're going to... Oop, wrong button. We're going to set for 2,000 feet a minute climb out of here. We'll get above this to 20,000 feet. And we can chill. We're heading out of Hot Springs. Heading all the way to the far side of Texas. It's one of the reasons this is going to be such a long flight. Looks like Mother Nature's still kicking ass with these winds and bouncing around pretty good. We'll see how it holds us back at altitude. Get that one open. That one works better than the... I just wish I could get this to work outside the plane. I'm sure there's a setting that I don't know about, but it is what it is. I hope everybody had an amazing weekend. We had snowstorms, so the snow is back. They put up a video just for Zenon. So if anybody sees him, tell him to check the shorts. The snow is back. You see, Mr. Icarus had some snow out there in sunny California. This is a very large state park we're going to. But like I said, luckily after this one, the long flights, most of the state parks are pretty well clustered in the southwestern and northwestern U.S. So we'll be able to hit one or two every flight and spend more time in the parks and less time flying between them. Tonight, once we get to the national park, we'll just wing it because, like I said, anything that wasn't an actual airport became the North Pole. So we'll have to live with it. I just put in an updated flight plan. If you haven't grabbed it, grab it. It's just point to point. There's no stops. We'll just fly around the park. Unfortunately, typical Microsoft fashion, here's an update. We broke a bunch of stuff. We made it better. We broke a bunch of stuff. These are the last hills we're going to see for a while. A good portion of landing gear will not go up. Keyboard command or cockpit? Nada? Oh, shit. Like I said, they broke a bunch of shit. Don't you love it? Hey, we fixed this. I said the flight plans, because like you were asking about the flight plan being a mess, there's no way to fix it except for go airport to airport. That's how you know it's an update. We broke a bunch of stuff. Less stuff works now than before the update. But we fixed a couple of the things that were in the update. Typical gaming companies. Software companies, not just gaming companies. Who's that? Somebody, Erotic Alex MD? Aortic Alex. Or if he's a doctor. Heart doctor. Heart surgeon. All companies, yeah. Pretty much. Guess I'll pop this one on when I'm out here. There we go. I think doctor's going the other way. Thought if we needed a heart doctor, we'd have somebody on. I forget what day of the week it is. I think it's Wednesday. All the doctors used to golf on Wednesdays. I think it was Wednesdays. Tuesdays or Wednesday. Whatever day. Whatever day all the doctors used to go golfing. A guy in Lake Placid piled into the golf course on landing. I don't know what he did. He stalled it and spun into the golf course. And the only reason they survived is literally all the doctors were right there on the golf course. There was like 6 doctors there when they crashed. And they had managed to do everything to save them right there. But they'd probably had less chance of surviving if they didn't have doctors working on them within seconds. I aspire to be that successful, upgrading it, breaks it, and people still flock to me. I know it. Amazing level to be at, huh? We got a president that can't even find his way home. And people still think he's doing a great job. He's gone, man. He even reads the end of quote shit on the things now. It's like, oh, come on, poor guy. I feel bad for him. I really do. I feel it's not even, you know, a political issue. I feel sad. I feel bad for him. It's like sad now. The poor dude is just so far lost. I don't like to talk politics much on here, but it's not even politics at this point. It's elder abuse at this point. Parading this guy around who's just not there. If I did this with my grandpa, they'd stick me in jail. We're being mean to him. Not a lot of cool stuff to see on this flight. Below us, we have Lake Greason. That's what that is. Pine Mountain. It's off to the corner there. And that's going to be the last of the mountains for a very long time. But one of the mountains the mountain range we will see at the Big Bend National Park, it's the only mountain range that's entirely inside of a park. And this park, again, is not 100% to protect everything. There are off-roading trails, so you can go four-wheeling, you know, the off-road rock climbing and stuff like that. It's usable space, and they have off-road trails. They do have archaeological expeditions because there's been civilizations there 10,000 years ago. There's been fossils of dinosaurs found there, so it's quite a important park, but it's also used. You know, it's not used, but it's not quite like the Adirondack Park where it's state land and you can't touch it. Restart, fixed it, good. At least I fixed it. I had a friggin' graphic video driver update about an hour before this. I'm like, oh, please don't screw things up. So I restarted. Restarted the whole computer, started the shim, shut the computer completely off, and I restarted again just to make sure any little fragments were cleared the hell out before I started this. You know, I can't say enough about this aircraft from Demos Inc. I will not compare it to the other one because I don't own the other one. I have no intention to buy the other one because really the only difference I can see is the other one's cockpit looks a little better. But this one is so cool that when you empty your wing tanks when you're flying, they disappear. So it's like when you can drop them, the drop tanks. Well, just little things like that. I see no, you know, just Demos Inc. does such good work with his aircraft that if you have a question about whether you should buy one or not, it's by Demos, buy it. You won't regret it. Dollar for dollar, you're going to enjoy that $20 aircraft as much as the $40 or $50 aircraft of the exact same model. You will enjoy it just as much. Now, and yes, he does support the channel quite often, so I will put that out there, but if his stuff was shit, I would say it was shit, and he knows it. Well, just looking at some Valheim mods, 3 to 4 could, and to some levels should be adopted by the game to have just little quality of life stuff like more inventory space. that's like every game, isn't it? Like Minecraft, you always need inventory space. And yeah, pretty much every game I've ever had, I always run out of inventory space except for Skyrim. That dude's got some serious pockets in Skyrim. Yeah, nothing wrong with sport. No, and you know, Demos does a great job. Hunter, you know, Hanger once. 713, I think I got it right. 713. He does a really good job, and he's actually become more of a friend than anything else. So I will always support his stuff on the channel. He's done a lot for the streamers, and streamers have done a lot for him. So, and by the way, if you have purchases Twin Navion on Microsoft Flight Simulator Store, make sure you review it. His review is still at over 4.5 last time I checked. And that's epic for being in the store, the in-game store, which I always forget the name of. Getting old sucks. Stupid things like that, you just gone, can't remember them. Here comes Icarus. Oh, I like that livery. Looks like a giant bee. Inventory by weight is better than inventory by slot. I can even get on board with encumbrance by size. The dandelions equal to logs. Yeah. That'd be some big ass dandelions. Alright, we're at 20,000 feet. Our ground speed is now 3 knots, which is over 400 miles an hour. Which I guess I don't have to get rid of the live weather because 353 over the ground means we don't have a lot of headwind. So we're good. On the live weather, I was worried. I couldn't do live time because it's still dark. And dark doesn't come out good in this. Isn't it great? It really is. It's just such a fun bird. You want to go low and fast. This thing is a screamer. It is just such a screamer. And it performs so well. Now you know why so many countries use it for fighter training. I mean, come on. Take the engine out of a TBM and stick it on a little tiny fighter weight plane. How could you go wrong? Yeah, that's better. Out of coffee. I gotta switch to tea. Got jasmine tea tonight. So I bought this. As many of you know, I like my herbal teas. I bought this herbal tea sampler pack, and it had this one that says 4 gingers. So it's like 4 different kinds of gingers in it. I was like, oh, this thing's gonna be good. So I sniffed the tea bag. Holy shit, dude! It was full of really fine powdered ginger dust. Do not, I repeat, do not ever snort ginger dust. That burns so fucking bad. Oh my god. Whatever you do, don't do that. Oh Christ, it was horrible. So yeah, note to self, don't ever do that again. Make the tea and then sniff the drink. Don't sniff the bag. That was bad. Yeah, it was right up my nose, man. Oh, it was burned so bad. And of course, being ginger, it burned. Oh, fuck. It was good tea. But then a couple of the other teas, I was looking at them, it's like, they got this funky taste to them. I'm like, all right. It turns out there's no tea in them. Why would you have, why on earth would you have herbal tea with no fucking tea? Yeah, it woke me up right. It was bad. Whew. A place down below us here is called Horatio. There's a cool name. And up north of us is D Queen. Literally D Queen up there. We're almost ready to cross into the Texas line. It's probably one of the few things we'll be going over tonight is... The hell did I do? Did I bump something? I'm going awfully to the right. Oh yeah, I managed to turn my autopilot off. Not quite sure how I did that. I bumped something. Hey, didn't I have autopilot shit out on a plane the other day? Yeah, it did. But yeah, but why would you make herbal tea with no tea in it? Like, that made no friggin' sense, so I threw it all away. Learn not to buy that company, man. I got these totally organic ones from this cheap shop. They're like $1.99, but they're so freaking good. They're literally like green tea or white tea. And if it's jasmine, it's just tea and jasmine. If it's strawberries, just tea and strawberries. dried strawberries ground up in it. They're freaking delicious. They're not strong. I like stronger, but they're white tea or green tea, so I don't have caffeine, so I can eat them before, drink them, and still go to bed. Yeah, word to the wise, don't do that. Saw a regular guy trying ammonia salts for the first time. His mind went to a whole other dimension. Oh, I can remember those when I was a kid because my mom, being a nurse, always had them in her pocket. Like always. She always had some in her pocket. It was like she had scissors, tape, and those things in her pocket at all times. Always. And oh my God, we were, I don't know, on Cub Scout things. She let us all sniff them. It's like, oh my freaking God. She cracked that open. We're all like, oh. Trying to think which river this is going to be up here. We're already crossed the Mississippi, so is this the Missouri or the Arkansas? Never made any sense, did it? That's the Arkansas River, but it's the Arkansas as a state. I think I'm going to know how to pronounce that. Oh, watch a national forest. There's a national forest, right? Oh, out here somewhere. Probably that little bit of forest right there. It's not very big. We decided not to go to the national forest and all the national sites, historic sites and all that shit, because we'd be flying for the next 20 years. And Kerbal's here to stay for a little while anyways, because it had like a whole shitload of views, like way more than my normal. Of course, it is a new game, so that's to be expected. We'll see how it shakes out. If the views continue to stay, I'm having fun with it. But I may step it up a notch and go to what they call no recover mode. In other words, you can't recover back. If you fuck it up, you fuck it up. Wherever your Kerbal ends up, that's where they end up. They're stuck in orbit, they're stuck in orbit. They crash and die, they crash and die. But you can't recover back to the launch or the building to build it again. You have to let the Kerbals lie where they fall. You can recover the aircraft once it's on the ground, but only if you land it back on Kerbin can you recover it. Everywhere else, you just... I may turn that on just for giggles. Alright, what river are you? No, it's on allowing me to recover. That's how I kept recovering and not killing too many of them. Oh, what river? What river? That bastard just told me. Red River. A Red River. Don't know that one. That's what we're going over. Lima Mike Bravo, LMB. What else we got? Yeah, Icarus kicking it out there. Somebody's close, but high. Oh, Dark Star. That was going to go screaming over. Magical Carousel. There's a lot of people flying tonight. Whole lot. That's awesome. Seems like a lot of people stayed after that the last big boost there. The Game of the Year edition thing. A lot of people, they got busy after that. A lot of people have stayed. I'm forever seeing people everywhere I go now, which is good. Happy. That means people are buying it. It means they're going to keep trying to put money in it. You're wondering, we're about ready to go over Clarksville. We're in Texas now, by the way. You know, it's heard the saying, the last train to Clarksville. So Clarksville. It's the next little town we're coming over. I don't even know if there's train tracks to it anymore. That's Clarksville. Looks like somebody building a housing development. Now the only thing really cool we go over is we're going to go right over Dallas Fort Worth. That's pretty much the only real big thing we're heading over. Yeah, like other games, hardcore mode. Yep, that's exactly what it is. It's their version of hardcore mode. Where you are, and that's it. So I think I may turn that on. I have noticed a couple of bugs, which is to be expected. Like I said, it's brand spanking new, and it is early access. It's the first release. If you go down a ladder that's too low on another planet and you don't jump off, and go down to the bottom of the ladder, you fall through the world, and then keep falling into the center of the world. So yeah, well, that's bad. And lately I've got a Kerbin that's on the moon, on the mun. And I have plenty of fuel to get home, but I can't get the damn line to work. So I don't know when to burn. So I'm trying randomly to just fly him back by magic, and it's not working. I can get there, I just can't get the little bastards home. And the thing is, I have enough fuel to get him home, even though the rocket screwed up on the way there. I've still got enough fuel to get him home, but it's not working. Let's see what else. Last night's flight in that big AN 225 was fun. Rewatching the video just to see how it did, I'm pretty sure I iced up. That's when I hit the ocean. I had no control over that aircraft at all. I had plenty of speed. Yeah, I think there's the train tracks right there. Right there. That's the train. It's usually a train when they're nice and straight and they go on forever like that. That must be the last train to Clarksville. Colonize the moon one-way trip. Yeah, well, he's kind of stuck there. Unless I get my lines back, I have no blue lines, so I can't do any of the settings or any of that crap. So I have no idea how to get him back. So there is that. Tomorrow night we're doing the airmail, but we're going to be in the Jenny. So it's going to be a slow flight, a very slow flight, and we're going to have to stop and get fuel because the Jenny doesn't carry enough fuel to make it all the way. Could be the last of the airmail flights until the update drops. Even though there is one other leg that goes western, can't remember the name of the town. It goes to the eastern part of Washington State. I can't remember. It's Spokane, Washington. That's where it goes. Spokane. There's that route. I don't know if we'll get to that one or not. Oh, let me try to get some music, see if this thing's going to behave and not friggin' totally drop me out. What did we have last time? I don't remember. Just pick one. Meditation? No, that's what it... Yeah, meditation. We'll do meditation for now, see what happens. Well, it looks like it works, and it's not going to puke. Can you hear the music? I can't. There, if I get away from the engine sound, I can hear it. I don't know if I want the chill music though. Go inside the plane, see how we're doing on our distances. Because unlike this stupid thing, I wish this would work outside the plane because it's like this times 10. We're 500 miles out. Knee-high stockings right below the knee or above, it depends. Try to be schoolgirl below the knee, trying to be sexy above the knee. What a strange fucking question. But I know why you're asking it, but the people who don't know, that's people who don't know, that's an odd question. Somebody named Boogie. Got a boogie on my finger and I can't shake it off. No. We got to do something about the music. No, we're not doing meditation tonight. EDM maybe. How's their EDM? Not working, that's how it is. There we go. Much better. There's always got to be this one where you're asking these questions. Oh shit, my little screen went dark. Stupid screensaver, come on. This is Jim Chapman Lake coming up. What the hell city is that ahead north of us here? Paris. Wanna go to Paris? It's over there. Paris is right there. We took a wrong turn there, Chris. We're going to Paris. Oh, Sulphur Springs is right down there. Pretty famous in Western movies. That was like the world's shortest EDM song. It's really depressing. Wait, we're in Colorado? No, that's Caddo National Grassland. Okay. I need my glasses. Can't read these little screens. I'm gonna have to go get a bigger freaking monitor. Oh my god, my glasses are dirty. Sorry, just trying to clean my glasses. It takes concentration. Only have to wear them to read. My vision got worse than my arm length. Can no longer hold shit out far enough. Modern songs really get to 2 minutes, sometimes barely past 1. They 12-minute ballads. They're basically dead. Yeah, but EDM, they used to be like great mixes and they go on forever. Apparently not this one. Icarus got the hammer down on that thing. I got mine pegged. I'll tell you what he's got. He's got unlimited fuel. He's got just enough fuel for the engine to run. How my little dog's doing. I got sick dogs, both of them. Fun stuff. Seems like it's going around. Bryce had a sick dog this morning. United Airlines, flight 1334. Screaming by. I still have trouble realizing Threw out the passenger. I threw out my passenger, but I can't drop my externals because I'll drop them when I run out of fuel. Plus I have live weather, so I probably do have a touch of the wind in there. Okay, I'm not liking this music. I'm not feeling it. No. No. That's EDM, dubstep, chill. I have no idea. We'll do some synthwave. How about that? Try that. Maybe that's a little better. That must be getting close to Dallas Fort Worth with all those people up there. Also getting a lot of regular flights like American Airlines. What's really weird, and like I was saying, I can't get that out. Get my head around the fact that American Airlines flight 726 is real. It is right there in real life. It's hard to get your head around that shit. You know, that's real. That jet is really there and really full of people, and really that flight and that flight number. My brain still has trouble collecting all that information, you know, processing that is that realistic. I'm just not feeling any of this music tonight. Oh well. Where are we? We're in Commerce. That's the name of this town. Commerce. Little highway town. Probably no commerce left there at all anymore. It's probably a big to-do spot back in the day when the wagon trains and shit came through. Now it's an exit stop on the way to Dallas. Next main little town, Greenville. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. If it went down and you saw it go, you would see it go down as long as the telemetry was telling you it was going down. That could be hairy to think about if you were watching one fall out of the sky and it actually fell out. It would be falling out of the sky. Pretty scary to think about. Well, luckily, most of the time when they disappear on here, it's a damn server issue. That'd be kind of freaky to even think about. The GV, the Greenville marker. Navigation point. So let's hope before the rest of this week's flights will be fine with the issue. But part of next Tuesday's flight will not be fine if we can't fly it properly. It's going to cause some issues. So hopefully there's a fix before next Tuesday. Fingers crossed it's either something to do with little nav map or something to do with, if it's to do on the Microsoft end, which I'm sure it is going to cause, we won't see a fix within a week. I've tried it. It makes no difference what I do if I put a waypoint that is not an actual airport. It goes to the North Pole. Hello, Gowan. Or hello, Gowan. I'm reading you freaking. Yeah, I'm good. Hello, Jerry. How are you today? No, I have teleport to increase altitude in the flight assistant. No, I haven't. I have not tried that. That sounds like terrifying. Welcome, Jerry. Hope all is well with you. Things are good. This should be the last of our long flights for a little while. From here on out, they're pretty well close together for a while. Probably like the next 10-15 flights are close together. So that this will be the last one with some long legs. I think next week's flight will have the I'll have to play with that when I'm not on stream. Next week, what do we got? I can't remember what that plane is, but we're gonna have the I'm gonna fly the Vision Jet to the national park, and then I don't remember what the hell I'm flying around the national park in. Just in from work? That's good. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Little airport down there. And yes, we're coming up on the Dallas, Fort Worth, Irving, Carlton, Plano. It's just a giant mega city now. It's huge. There is no difference between the two cities anymore. What do they call it? Metroplex? New term, old term. The Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex. If teleportation were possible for humans in real life, would you dare to do it? Ever since I saw The Prestige, I've decided I wouldn't want to chance it. It depends on how it was done, because I think I would have a real moral issue with the way the one's done in Star Trek, because it rebuilds you on the other end, but it does kill the one on this end. So it may be I don't know. Like I said, I think if it was an instant teleport, some sort of where they weren't destroying the first copy, and the second copy lives at the other end, maybe. Not if it was just a straight, these molecules went to the other end molecules, but they didn't have to kill you, then maybe. I don't know. That definitely poses some interesting thoughts and questions. Yeah, Metroplex. Kind of like the multiplex theaters, just with cities. That's like New York City. Doesn't get nearly the credit it needs for being the largest city, because they don't count any of the parts in New Jersey as part of the city because it's a different state, even though it's all just one giant ass city now. It's huge. Been a while since I've been in Dallas, probably 12 years, 13 years. Went to training down in Dallas for Dell. Went down there to get my Dell Certified Systems Engineer and stayed on and specialized in large multiprocessor servers, so I could work on high-end hardware. Everybody else was there just to work on PCs. I'm like, you're idiots. Why don't you stay the extra week and work on the big PCs, because you can make more money, and they're paying for the training. So, but most of them just wanted their certification to work for Dell, and that's that. I stayed on. There's a really neat restaurant down there. You got to remember the time frame that I took training in Dell was 20 plus years ago, more than 20 years ago. It was a long time ago. Yeah, but you had the pencil protecting geeks you know, the pocket protectors and the suits and ties, and then you had your hippies and your stoners and the long hairs like me. At the time I had long hair. And there were two different worlds, but it was funnier than hell. The guy's like, the guy giving the training, he says, I like you guys. He says, I hate those pocket protector guys. I tell you guys, this is how you do it. You go, okay. I tell them, this is how you do it. Oh, no, you got to do this, and this. He said they question everything. Not that I haven't been doing this job for 20 years. They question everything. You guys just do it. You take the information and do it. But there's a restaurant in Dallas, Texas. When you go in, it's a steak place. The big signs up outside, no ties. No ties allowed. And if you look inside the building, all around the walls are ties. That people, if you go in there with a tie on, they come out with a giant pair of shears and cut your tie off and staple it to the wall. And we took all the geeks with the pocket protectors. We invited them out to dinner. And we went to that steakhouse and they all had ties. And they came out and cut one of them right off and stapled the wall. The others were trying to get theirs off before they cut them. Oh, it was funnier than hell. You think that I got the clue and took them off before they went in with the big signs, no ties? But no. There's big city of Dallas. Dallas Fort Worth Airport. The main downtown Dallas. Right there. Right now we're over Garland, Texas. But like I said, when a state providence map represents a place as a splotch instead of a dot, it's too big of a city. This is huge. This metroplex now is absolutely monstrous. On one of my trips to Dallas, I started off to get to the airport. I took a car, which I then took a ferry. Then I got the jet to fly to Texas. I got to Texas. I took a train. I took all the major modes of transportation in one trip. Silly tiger braid. You kind of wear like a bandana and double down. It's not a tie. Uh-oh. Oh, I didn't want to load Dallas. And you think about how big these places got. It's like this airport was built between Dallas and Fort Worth so that it wouldn't be people around it. Now there's everybody around it. The city just grows around it. The city just grew between the two. It's monsters, because Fort Worth is actually there, but there's no difference anymore. Yeah, Dallas Fort Worth is absolutely freaking huge. There's Love Field, Dallas Fort Worth, but somebody just went by. Let's see what it was. Yeah, it's just one giant. I think, we're doing 354 miles an hour across, or knots, which is 400 miles an hour across the ground, and it's been going on for 20 minutes. It's literally huge. It does have this highway, which is one of the fastest highways in the U.S. because it's privately owned. It goes between Dallas and Fort Worth. It has an 85 mile an hour speed limit on it because it's a private highway. It's not owned by the state. For commuters who want to spend a lot of money and get there really fast. Wait, was that Love Field? Yeah, that's Love Field. Right? Dallas Fort Worth should be over there. Yeah, there's DFW. The Monster Airport. That's Love Field, the little one. I've flown into both. This one, when I landed, it was closed. One time we landed, we were delayed. Then we landed. Literally, the airport was closed. We had to call. One dude had to call 911 and get the police there to open the door so we could get out of the airport. Roads, cars, cities, etc. Yeah, pretty much. But the airport was literally closed. We got in so late, we were so delayed that it was completely freaking closed. One guy got on the phone, called 911, had the local police show up and open the freaking doors so we could get out. The baggage handler had gotten the luggage out and shit, but we were stuck. We couldn't get the doors unlocked from the tarmac. And the only time I've been de-iced in a plane was flying out of Dallas in an ice storm. It was snowing. I've never had any luck flying out of Dallas. They have speed suggestions. Yeah. Montana was unlimited during daylight hours, but they finally did away with that and actually put up a speed limit. The one time we took off out of Dallas, we were in the 737, and if I'd have known the pilot was going to take off in those weather conditions, I'd have waited. I'd have rescheduled my flight. We were in the midst of one of those giant, massive southern thunderstorms and lightning everywhere. We stayed in the clouds with the seatbelt side on, getting our asses pounded to death all the way to Chicago. We never got above the storms. We never got around the storms. We stayed in them the entire flight. Yeah, we're sitting in the plane. I figured, well, we're going to be sitting on the ground till it clears. Oh, no. We took off in it. Well, if you ever visit, I'll make you a barbecue and you can stay in my tent. Right on the river. One thing about the U.S. is it's kind of like all the European countries put into one because it's that big. So you have all the different cultures. You have all the different... We got deserts. We got mountains. We got seas. We got, we got everything all rolled into one country. We have so much. We can go all the way from tundra to friggin' tropical beaches. Yeah, it's just one thing people don't grasp when they come here is just how freaking big it is. It's until you drive across it and you're like, holy shit, this place is huge. A fun trip if you do come here and you want to take a really cool trip and see the U.S. is catch one of the trains that goes like from Boston to Chicago. You can't get a sleeper on Boston to Chicago, but once you get to Chicago, you can either take the southwestern or the northwestern route and go all the way across the country through the Rockies by train and get a room. It's an experience. I've been twice from California to Boston on the train. I love it. It's just such a great way to travel. And they have those big sky cars. You can sit up top and see everything. It's just freaking huge. And I have people look at me sideways, even people that are in the cities, think it's crazy that I drive 40 miles to the store. Where I live, if I want to go to a big box store, other than our little tiny grocery store in town I go to, if I want to go to a big box store like a Walmart or a big grocery store, I have to drive 40 miles. And I'm not really that far in the sticks. I used to have to drive 50-something plus miles. I'm closer now. Yeah, and there are races that I go to, that I work, that are 16, 18 hours away. And those are the ones I can drive to. Anything else, I gotta fly. Right now, he's trying to decide if he's got enough, if he wants to go to Virginia International Raceway twice this year. One would be Easter weekend, the next one would be the last race of the season for the national finals. So the first race would be to learn to set the car up, and he can learn the track. And we got a place in the top 50%, but we'll do that. That's not an issue. And then the second race would be the national final, so at least we'd have some time on there. This year it's going to start Easter weekend. If he goes for it, that's when it will officially start, Easter weekend. when that happens, my streaming schedule will change somewhat because I don't race every weekend. The only ones I know I absolutely have booked solid right now that I'm sure of, 100% sure of, is Memorial Day weekend, which you guys don't have, but it's in May, I think. Yeah, it's in May. And July 26th, 24th to the 26th. That's the only 2 races I have booked right now. Because, well, the motor's getting rebuilt in the car, and he hasn't wanted to commit 100% to anything, and I haven't either until we have a car that's absolutely working, because you gotta get motel rooms and travel and all that shit. No sense booking everything if we end up not going. So if he goes, it'll be Easter weekend, which is I stopped taking my car out 2 years ago. I'm too far away from home with just one car to risk piling it up. So I no longer time attack or any of that shit. She's too far away to make a mistake. I spun really bad and didn't hit anything, but that made me think you're an idiot. So I don't race anymore. I stick strictly to the pits, and then a couple times a year I'm a spectator. Be right back. I'm gonna let the dogs out real quick. You know, it would be one thing if I had more money and could afford a trailer and an actual car that I don't want to tear up. My car is pretty, I mean, it's a Miata MX-5, and there's millions of them, but there's very